The Sports Source is brought to you by Fast Frame. Turn your memorabilia into a work of art.
You are watching East Tennessee's first and only year-round sports talk show on television. This is The Sports Source with your host, John Pennington.
Good Sunday morning and welcome into the Sports Source. Happy Mother's Day to everyone out there. We have off-field news. It would be hard to have on-field news right this time of year. But we got off-field news for Tennessee football. We got legal developments. We got stories that are big stories, or are they? Then we've got Memphis to the Big 12 possibly. Would that be an issue for Tennessee? We got a lot of stuff to come in today's show. Let's just dive straight into it. First segment of our show brought to you by Tennova Healthcare. And gentlemen out there, prostate cancer can hit you at any age. I know that from experience. If you face that fight, make your first call to Tennova's Men's Health Center of Excellence. They will give you all of the possible answers, all of your possible options, A through B. Don't make a decision before you know all of your options. Do what I did, and that is trust Tennova Healthcare. Find more at Tennova.com and check out the Men's Health Center of Excellence. All right, I want to welcome in the members of our show. We have right here Bob Hodge. We have Mike Strange.
Good morning.
We have Jimmy Himes, who, by the way, Friday, May 20th, coming up at the Willow Creek Golf Course. It's the Sertoma Center's 2016 Jimmy Himes Kenny Withers Golf Challenge. Do you still have any slots available?
Yes, we do. So come on, come on.
Okay.
Come forward, come on.
Come forward, come on. What's the website for people to go to?
Joan@sertoma.com.
Joan@sertoma.com is who you email to find more about that good cause golf tournament. And we got right down there Chuck Cavaleris, who will be involved in somebody's golf tournament that week, I'm sure. All right. Lots of legal stuff out there this week. We'll get this out of the way. We'll start with the Title IX lawsuit. As expected, the judge in the case did not toss the case. UT had filed a motion to dismiss the whole thing. Didn't happen. She did, however, dismiss one claim from one of the 8 Jane Doe's involved, saying that one was past the statute of limitations, so that one's out. So what this means is, you know, this thing is going to trial at this point. All right, it is going to be a federal case. You've got the next step will be depositions, and it's the discovery process. This is the part that could start to get uncomfortable, especially for coaches that may be deposed and asked who knows what. Do you think, now that you've crossed this threshold and you're in a different place, do you think at all, from the folks you've talked to, do you think at all that impacts UT's thinking? Or they knew this was coming, they're ready to roll?
I don't think it impacts their thinking. And I'll still go back to what I said, and I know Bob and I disagree. In discovery, if you find that you did something wrong, I'm settling.
Right.
But if I don't find that I did anything wrong, I'm not going to settle. But now you get into the parameters. What's the settlement?
Yes.
Is it $5 million a person? Is it $500,000 a person? You know, that's where you get into the negotiation. But in discovery, if I find I did something wrong, I would settle. But until I found I did something wrong, I would not.
And of course, the thing is, if you get into discovery or if something's uncovered in a deposition you don't like and you want to settle, the price for settling goes up. Once everyone knows, aha, we got you. So
well,
that's
you might even have an NCAA violation in there too. So you better know. The discovery should come first from your attorneys to your clients, to your coaches. You talk to them, and if you find something that's out of bounds, then you settle.
The problem is you don't know what the other attorneys are going to ask. There's a feeling, and I spoke to somebody at UT who told me that, well, federal judge is going to rein that in. That's going to be. I get the
not
feeling,
this judge.
yeah, from the fact that the Peyton Manning thing was left in.
Yeah.
That was a canary in the coal mine from your coal industry. That sent a message that, okay, we're going to give you some leeway here to find out what's really there. So I wouldn't count on the depositions necessarily being focused on one area. I think they'll push some pressure points in other areas just to get under the skin.
I personally think that that's a more worrisome thing right now for Tennessee than a lawsuit. What do you ask? What do you find out? Which coaches do you bring in to depose, or what kind of questions? To me, that, from UT's athletic standpoint, not financially possibly,
Right.
not national news possibly, but from you as an athletic department, this is where I think it could be really, really worrisome, because if a coach knows that he kind of fudged the rules a little bit and he's asked a particular question, would he not be facing some
Yeah, and
perjury
charges if he doesn't. So,
But it's not just coaches. I mean, it goes pretty high up the chain there, yeah. And I still think that you got to have an idea of how the criminal aspect of this that is involved in the civil
You're not
case.
going to.
But
Still
to
on
me,
hold.
before you get to the settlement part, I think you got to have some kind of either resolution or outcome on that. But I think more and more people are leaning towards, if there is a settlement, what is the amount, and then no admission of anything, and here are the steps we've taken to try to improve situation on campus.
Mike, do you think Tennessee's made it pretty clear they're not going to settle? Do you think now that they've crossed this line and moved to the next stage of things, they're any more likely to settle, or no? You think they're still full speed ahead with the no settlement?
I don't think it's decided yet. I think they're saying they're full speed ahead, saying they're not going to settle, and are considering not settling, but I don't think that's a done deal yet.
To an extent, you have to say that. Even if you plan on settling, you're rattling sabers.
Yeah.
I would actually think that if you're Tennessee, you're trying to get the can kicked down the road a little bit farther.
Sure.
Let that criminal case, and I just wonder if that is, now you finally reach the place, okay, we are trapped right now. And that's where the pressure, I think, starts coming.
The problem is, these are two different tracks. So you can't sit there and say, well, we're going to wait until the A.J. Johnson, Michael Williams thing is done. That's now on hold indefinitely. I was told when it was put on hold that it won't be long. Still on hold, and that's been, what, a month and a half, 2 months ago that they put it on hold? So when does it get kick back up again? All right, next story that made news this week, again, off the field stuff. There you go. What do the coaches say when they're asked for attorneys? Give them 6. Tennessee apparently hands out a list of 6 attorneys here in town to their players, that if you get into trouble, these are the guys to call. These are the attorneys you'll want representing you. All of those names well known. Tim Priest, known for a couple of reasons. A former player, he's also the color man on the broadcast, and very good lawyer in town. That story, it doesn't look natural. I think to the just general person reading a story, and UT's telling them which lawyers to get. Well, that means UT must be paying the attorneys, or there's something fishy going on here. To those who don't cover this and haven't talked about this numerous times over the years on radio, on this show, written about it, I think there are a lot of people that go, well, there's something fishy here. The reality is there may be, but the NCAA can never find it. It's one of those things that's going to be tucked away. There's no way for the NCAA to ever look at how these guys are getting paid, and that's really the only thing that's the crux of this. For a school to say, call this guy, there's nothing wrong with that.
No, and all 6 of those are graduates of the UT Law School. So, there's a good relationship on that. Yeah, I would want them to have the name of somebody to call, especially if you're in a very, very stressful situation,
Well, the idea that a school is going to say, no, can't give you an attorney. Sorry, no help on that. Yeah. It's silly, so that's not an issue. The only thing it could be an issue is, well, why are they giving them those 6? Are they in cahoots in some way? And the thing is, there's no way for the NCAA to ever come in. And those attorneys would tell you, no, we charge a regular rate, I'm sure. There's no way for anybody to find out.
Unless down the road, like if it was Arian Foster spilling the beans or
somebody
something.
Said something. But the NCAA can't go and say, well, what did you charge him?
No, because that would be,
and
that's my smart point. Do I get to make it?
Yes, you do. Go.
Attorney-client privilege. Thought of that during the pre-show. I just wanted to bring it up.
Very good.
But I just think, to me, it looked not too fishy, and once again, being in the media and being around this stuff, because an 18, 19-year-old kid who doesn't live in the town except for to be here at the University of Tennessee gets in trouble, he's not going to have any idea which way to turn. I'm a 55-year-old man that's lived here all my life. I may not know which way to turn. So to me, it seems natural that UT is going to say, look, if you've got a problem, this is what it is.
Yeah, I just think to people who aren't huge sports fans, or people that are looking to say, well, Tennessee must be up to something, when you put a list out there that says, they're giving a list of lawyers, I think some people go, what's that about? Really nothing. Because again, if there is something behind the scenes going on, the only issue that could possibly be there is if these guys are giving free advice, free counsel to these players, but there's no way to prove that because of attorney-client privilege, and also the NCAA just doesn't have the power to come after anyone.
And hence
dig
a
anyone.
Title IX maybe extra benefit or something that's not afforded to regular students.
Well, the NCAA is not going to go investigate
Right.
every player in America and every attorney and
No.
what they're trying to charge for. Jimmy, Mike and Jimmy.
A couple quick things. One, 5 of the 6 attorneys, the 6 didn't respond to it, said they didn't even know Tennessee had a list.
Right.
The other thing is, though, and I'd say this, and I know every one of those attorneys on the list, I'm sure most people here do. I would not put people on the list who serve on the athletics board. I wouldn't put somebody on the list who's a big booster or donor. I just don't think it looks good. There are plenty of other attorneys that you can use. Now they can go. That doesn't mean that person, that athlete, couldn't go to that attorney. I just the appearance of it doesn't look good to me. So I wouldn't submit a list with people who are on my athletics board or big boosters.
Mike, finish us up.
Will we ever get to the day when there's a athletic department staff attorney? These guys, they have strength coaches, tutors, academic advisors, nutritionists. Will there be a staff attorney?
Yeah, I
Well,
wonder
then
if
you're
that-
paying the
that-
attorney to represent the
Yeah.
student athlete.
Hey, it would
That
be-
would be a violation.
It
I
would be
guess.
cheaper to put somebody on a retainer, I guarantee you that.
Very good. I appreciate it, guys. When we come back, there's another story in the news about phone calls from Butch Jones that might have led to A.J. Johnson getting a job, A.J. Johnson getting legal help himself. My question is, so we'll discuss that. Am I missing something? Come on back on the Sports Source.